You guys aren't gonna believe this one. This is the machine that mines about 10 ZenCash a day, well over 1 Zcash a day, and approximately 20 Zclassic a day with current market rates, only consuming 2,200 watts. The latest and most powerful ASIC miner is here. It's pretty interesting stuff, but you may not wanna buy it. So stick through, watch the review, and let's find out why. The unicorn is real. The Asic Miner Co Zeon is actually right here in the flesh produced, averaging about 187,000 souls, which puts this machine about 200 1080 Ti's. That's crazy, and it's 27% less power consumption. That's what ASICs do. But I'm gonna go deep into all that stuff, where I'm mining, what I'm mining, why, what the real world earnings are looking like every day here in a little bit. But first off, while we're here in the garage at the VoskCoin studio, I wanna talk about the build quality and the fact that this is on pushing, if we round up 200,000 souls, which is insane if you've been an Equihash miner over the past year or so. And it's on right now. You can probably hardly hear it. It's water cooled. And it's really the first mainstream water-cooled ASIC miner to market. And quite honestly, it's interesting. This is something you could actually have in your house and live a semi-normal life. Don't get me wrong, this thing puts off some serious heat. Like this, that'll burn your hand. Regardless, any miner is gonna make heat. At least this one doesn't make a ton of noise. If you watched our video about the 8 Nano, that's the full in-depth setup guide for these miners, okay? And this one was exactly the same. It has the same liquid release valve in the side to help you get all the air out of the system. It's gonna take you at least 30 minutes to get this thing set up, and you're gonna be surprised how much water you have to keep adding. You have to make sure you watch that tank reservoir. But on that note, I do wanna say that I think this is a cool design. The use of the colors, even though some of the LEDs are out here on the front, good luck warranting something like that. That's just kind of like, oh, sorry, too bad, man. But overall, it's really interesting. This thing is very sharp on the edges. It'll scratch up your tables and everything like that, so be careful. It's very heavy, and I don't like to think I'm some kind of weak guy, and I'm not saying girls are weak, okay? Don't be offended out there. I know the internet's really sensitive, but it's difficult to move, get positioned right. So be careful. I actually had it in the hallway, and I walked into it and hit my leg so hard that I had a dent in my shin and a cut for 3 weeks. It sucks for me, right? Probably should turn the light on, but I'm saving on the electric bill, man. That stuff adds up, let me tell you. $1,400? Just like their other model, they've got a pretty weird power cable and a pretty industrial Ethernet cable. These are both gonna have those same fittings that snap in and not gonna be very modular. You're gonna get this and you're gonna use this. Probably same with this. And that adapter that I talked about in the 8 Nano, which just plugs right into your PDU, is an absolute lifesaver. Just improves your quality of life and allows you to deploy this quicker if you are to purchase it. That really sums up the initial impressions, build quality of the machine. This is very equivalent to if you've ever had just a nice space heater. This sounds just like a space heater. It's got that constant hum. Even though there's 6 fans, for being 6 fans on an ASIC miner, they're very, very quiet. The heat output is crazy, so if you're in a cold climate, good for you. You can make some use of this. But let's get to the part you probably came here for. Let's talk numbers, let's talk performance. Is this thing actually performing, and would I even recommend it? All right, so most importantly of all, we have some limited edition t-shirts going on, guys. So if you want to grab one of those, support the channel, you can go ahead and order these. Got a link in the description, and it's just teespring.com/stores/VoskCoin. But more importantly, let's talk about what you actually came here for. So the miner that's almost 200,000 souls, that almost makes $200 a day and cost $20,000. Yeah, hadn't said that yet, because if you can't watch a video this long, I don't think you deserve to know all the information. No offense there. And I'm going to explain why I think that you should be very wary of buying this machine. And also, in order to do this review, we had to become an affiliate for them to send us a demo unit. So I have an affiliate link in the description below, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to show this and lie to you guys and whatever. I always bring you guys the truth, whether or not there's sponsored content involved. So please understand that. I absolutely mean that. I would honestly rather retire than be a sellout. And a lot of people are quick to point out sellout in a sponsored content. I got to pay bills. I'm going to be straightforward about it. So anyway, without going on and on, let's talk about it. So $20,000, you can only pay wire transfer or Bitcoin. Again, they sent me this to demo. We've been in a ton of negotiations back and forth, and it looks like it's gonna be really hard for them to let me keep this. They said I could have it for 30 days. Now the last email said I could have it for 10 days. I don't know. I'd like to give you guys at least a 30-day update on a newer machine like this. If you run the numbers against the Antminer Z9 and Innosilicon A9, especially the Z9, it makes a little bit more sense if you're looking at just hash. You're going to save some money on electricity cost, but also keep in mind there's a big sticker shock factor buying this and selling this. There's a lot more people you could find to buy a machine like this, especially used, as opposed to a machine like this. However, everyone always complains about Bitmain and them being a monopoly and a giant, myself included. So if you do want to see some others like other companies actually have a chance here, you may want to consider supporting them so that they can actually stick around. But also, to be clear, I'm not endorsing Asic Miner, and if you order from them and they never send your stuff, I'm sorry. I've never placed an order with them, and they're not even letting me keep this miner because they've apparently already sold it to someone else. So just some things to keep in mind. I don't want to see you guys get burned because you watch this video. But if you do decide to order, use my link so they send me the next model to review. We come down here to the planned profit calculator, 1.3 Zet coins a day, annual profit of 70K. I mean, come on, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm mining on Zhash. I'm a big fan of Zhash. I talked about it in the Antminer Z9 mini video. It's a good alternative to the other, in my opinion, most popular ZenCash mining pool. And again, this is Equihash mine. You can mine Zcash. You can mine Zclassic. As you guys know, if you follow the channel, I like ZenCash. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and mine. It's nice. I've been a little discouraged in mining lately for a multitude of reasons. But one, I can't mine. But like there's not a lot of projects I can really get behind and just that's what I'm talking about. Our recent video on Aeon, I like Aeon, but their price is getting crushed, and it's just everything hurts every angle. You look at these profit projections, projected over 10 ZenCash a day right now. That's pretty wild. And then you've got 317 ZenCash a month. What? Just think about this. You buy 5 of these and you've got a mega soul, okay? Like, that's more than some networks used to be. There's still some networks smaller than that, some of these smaller shit coins, but whatever. Point is, that's crazy, man. That's how much the ecosystem has evolved with these ASIC miners. You can see it's having some kind of stability issue. It's restarted here, and a couple other times. This has been running for about 2 days. By the time you guys watch this video, this will be up for probably 6 days total, 5-6 days. And I'll have a link to check it out in the video description below, right here, and you can see how much it has made until then. So that'll be interesting to see. I covered in depth how to set up these types of water-cooled miners from Asic Miner in the Bitcoin one review. So if you haven't watched that, watch it. I'll have a link to it in the description and suggest it at the end of this video. But the basis of once you just do those initial boot setup, which you're just going to go to that URL and you're going to put the password that's associated with the miner. It's a little easier if you just use a QR scanner on your phone to get there and do that. And this is going to be your configuration. It's going to take about 30 minutes for this thing to actually get going and turn on. You just put your pool address, your worker, and your password. So this is the proper setup to connect to Zhash Pro. You can copy and paste this. I'll have it in the description of the video below. You can copy and paste and you'll be off to the races. Just like in the Antminer Z9 mini video, I try to make this stuff simple for you guys so you can just plug, chug, and go, baby. And it's just that simple. Using a ZenCash T address, public, got my worker address, and then the pool, you'd save and apply, but I don't want to do that because this thing takes forever to get going. It's just like a little behemoth. I do want to say that energy efficiency on this is certainly impressive, especially compared to the Z9. Not as impressive compared to the A9, but still good, still very good. So here's the deal. Here's the most important piece of this whole video, and I like to save a lot of the most important critical pieces towards the end of the video, because if you can't stick with me through the whole video, you're just not gonna get all the good juicy info, man. This is what's the most alarming, terrifying, scary thing about these AsicMinerCo, ASIC miners. It's really redundant. This is their dashboard. This is the only way to run this machine, right? And I'm logged in to my account on their website, right? So you log in and then you come down here, you can see your orders, your account details, addresses, and then you click on mining panel and it brings you here. This is a centrally hosted machine, okay? So if they're like, man, I really didn't like that guy's review, they could turn my thing off. They could turn my miner off. I guess technically it's not totally mine, but yeah, they could just turn it off, shut it off. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy and pretty alarming. And say what you want about Bitmain, okay? And you know, I'm well aware of Antbleed and how that was backdoor access that they had to their miners, and they got, you know, huge shit show over that. But in comparison, this has Antbleed just built right in. You know, it's just like, yeah, of course, we got Asic Miner bleed. So that's my biggest concern, man, is just these order options. Again, it's like Bitmain, but you know, whether or not you like Bitmain, they're definitely going to be around, and whether or not you may have a good warranty experience with them or a terrible one, you will get probably warranted eventually. This is such a new company, you have to be very wary of things like that. So, you know, all in all, I think this is an extremely interesting miner. And again, I want to warn you to be careful. This is a huge risk. This is a very big price tag. You know, time will tell. It's been interesting how much this miner has changed, because if you've been following them for a little bit, you know that they had one listed that it was going to do 40,000 souls, 160,000 souls, 180,000 souls is what it came to, and is the only model I've ever seen / the one I have right here. And then in addition to all that, they apparently have some better ones coming that may be marginally better or extremely better. I don't know, but the landscape of mining is always constantly changing. So again, I'm mining here on Zcash Pro. I'm mining ZenCash because that's what I like, and really ZenCash has held up incredible in this market downtrend as far as I'm concerned. Definitely better than Zcash. It's been getting hammered, but is it really a surprise why? I don't know. It's up to you guys to decide that. I'm really curious to see how these played out. I've taken some screenshots. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot right now. Just as I'm recording this for you guys, and it'll be fun to compare. It'll be fun for you guys to click this link and see what's happened since I made this video. And all in all, this is just crazy earnings. But please understand, it is not going to stay this way. Do not buy this miner thinking that you're going to make 320 Zen every month, you know, moving forward. You're going to get burned. And I wasn't extremely overly clear on that stuff in the past. And honestly, I was just a little too excited sometimes. And I feel like some people got a little misled by just my general enthusiasm about all this stuff, in addition to the crazy earnings. I knew that they were going to go down, but I feel like some people don't. So understand that you will not make this. They have another batch coming in September. There's all of these Antminer Z9s coming in September. There's Innosilicon A9s, which if you're not familiar is just like this, another Equihash ASIC miner coming in September. This video is going to be posted, you know, right here, if you're not checking the date, basically the middle of August. And a lot of stuff is going to change once September hits. So keep all that stuff in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm a little worried about just the longevity of this miner with having so many restarts. That was in my garage. I just moved it over into my mining shed, and I think it's going to be much harder. It's running, you know, about 20 degrees Celsius hotter in there. But that's the difference when you're dealing with ambient air cooling. You know, outside it's like 90 degrees today. And in my garage, it's like 70 degrees, especially since I cut those two AC vents in there. So above all, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the VoskCoin YouTube channel. And also grab a t-shirt for your boy. Come on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit a thumbs up. And if you do, check out their stuff. Hit the link. Support us there. And, you know, we'll see what happens. Crypto is always constantly changing, evolving, and I'm happy to be here, bring you guys the best, honest, true coverage I can. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I think I already said that again, but thanks for watching. All right. Thanks for making it all the way through the video, guys. For that, I'd like to give you an update. And in this update, I'm going to tell you, well, how's it been doing for the last actually 5 days since it was initially turned on, and about 3 days since I shot all the footage, because it had been mining for over a day when I shot the footage, whatever. The point is, it has had a little bit of some stability issues. There's no noticeable pattern to it yet, but it will restart a couple times per day. Also on Saturday, it seems the equivalent of one of the hash boards went down on the rig. it restarted, and one of the boards did not come back online. So it was averaging a hash rate of about 160K. And I tried remotely restarting it, did not fix the issue. I decided to just let it run for a little bit, see what would happen. And about 30 hours later, or roughly, that hash board just turned back on. And now it's back hashing away full speed like it was before. As you see in the earnings, the whole tail. Shoot a movie. As you see in the earnings, we over the past 5 days, almost like to the dot, 47.20 ZenCash. Now, we hadn't lost that board, we probably would have hit about 50 ZenCash, which if that's the case, we would have hit the estimated rate of 10 ZenCash a day, you know, totaling up to 50 ZenCash. Again, this is a crazy ZenCash amount, but per the price of this rig, it's actually not all that crazy. And the Innosilicon just dropped the prices on their A9s. So I would suspect that the Asic Miner Co will drop their price subsequently as well. They sort of have to. So anyway, like I already said, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sticking all the way through. I really appreciate you guys who watch the videos all the way through. It's huge for the rankings of the video. And also, I really appreciate when you guys hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. And this is Vosk and Tails checking out.